Scott Jaworski describes himself as a digital Swiss Army knife. That sounds like a good description. We sort of take for granted that we can do 140 characters at a time on Twitter, and we forget about the predecessor of Twitter, which was SMS, and that Twitter, the founders of Twitter consciously made a decision that they would limit their tweets to 140 characters so that they could go through onto people's cell phones via SMS, and there was no need for an internet connection. Scott Jaworski is going to talk to us about the current state of SMS. Scott?
How's everyone doing? All right, one person is doing great. Anyone else? All right. I'm going to jump right on Steve's bandwagon here, and he says that people don't read. He has all this content, which is great, but they're going to read text because it's only 160 characters. That's the beauty of it. I'm here to discuss SMS marketing with you guys. I'll give you a quick background about myself. I went to school for business and marketing, realizing as time went on that I really wanted to get into graphic design. I then picked up Photoshop, and this is our little secret. I taught myself making fake IDs for my friends. Cat's out of the bag now. So from there, I actually got a job. I was working at CNN.com and CNN International. I spent about over 7 years working with those guys in the ad sales and the marketing side. I actually developed a logo for them, CNN Digital. So I picked up a lot of corporate experience, a lot of .com, a lot of big multimedia. From there, I moved to the agency side. Sort of my role in thinking, okay, I have the whole corporate side down, I understand this machine. On the agency side, as I was working with third parties, it was really a big beast to comprehend. So moving there, I actually started working at a company called Global Fluency. They're based here down south in Palo Alto. I actually manage their New York office. I'm new to California. I've only been here for 8 months. I've been here, or a little more. I've been here since October. I'm from New York originally. Managing the agency side for Global Fluency really opened up a whole other perspective as far as all the different things the customers, clients, small businesses, nonprofits, and everyone such as yourselves are looking for and looking to get involved in. As we get more into the SMS here, you'll understand that I don't look at SMS as a way to say, okay, great, you can do SMS, but you don't need a blog or you don't need to be in video. I think you need a multi-channel approach across everything and anything that you do. And I think SMS happens to be probably one of the most powerful, influential, and really cost-effective methods that you can at this point engage with. Just as a sign of hands here, how many people have already sent a text message today? Yeah, okay, it's what, 10 o'clock? That's a lot of you already. 82% of people send text messages. There are some staggering numbers, and I might actually have to read those because I get myself confused. But 94% of text messages are actually read. You see that little envelope on your phone, there's nothing worse than just looking at that thing. You're going to open it up and you're going to read it, and it's 160 characters. It's not a blog. It's nothing that's going to throw your whole day off. Oh, okay, thanks, off we go. Now we're getting into MMS and QR codes. I think Daryl's going to speak later about QR codes, but MMS is starting to pick up as well. So now people are not just sending content, they're actually sending images. Some of these QR codes are actually used for redemption purposes. This is big and has been in Asia for quite some time, and is now really just starting to show face here in America. In the US, one of the challenges that we face, it's the text messaging portion of any device is really the breadwinner for all of the carriers. That's where they make their most money. And we're kind of unique in the United States in the fact that we actually charge for that. You go overseas, and that's just part of your plan. There is no extra fees for, 5 cents for a message here, 6 cents for a text there. This is all part of the program. As SMS has started to morph and grow, you'll see in 2010 alone, there was a 24% increase in SMS traffic. The average stats now are saying that people will look at their phone every 6.5 minutes. So you're going to look at your phone 150 times today, or 6.5 minutes by the time you're awake. That is absolutely crack addictive, hence the name Crackberry, okay? everything is going mobile. The CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, said it himself. He's like, put your best people in mobile. He's like, why? Everything's going there. Telecommunications, gaming, news, everything and anything will end up on a device. We're trying to get smaller and smaller. And again, one of the best things about SMS, or another one, and I'm going to say this over and over, you'll hear me. Does everyone remember the StarTAC phone that came out, that first real flip phone? Okay, that was brought out in 1996. That's 15 years ago. That was rated by PC World. It was number 6 on the top 50 best gadgets for the past 50 years. You can still receive text messages on that phone. Okay, so you don't need an iPhone, you don't need a BlackBerry, you don't need an Android. You can receive text on, I think it's 96% of phones at this point. As far as sort of the future, where is it going? Kenya, we think, you hear Kenya, do you think, high-tech, advanced? Not necessarily. Well, 25% of all transactions are made by SMS. That's banking, that's purchases. This is Kenya in Africa, folks. We're in America. We have infrastructure. We have everything built around us. So there is, opportunity. Again, you see where people are already pushing the envelope with, a very small infrastructure. Just imagine the possibilities that we can actually do here. My time is dwindling down here, so as far as sort of the real time and some of the things you guys really want to take away is SMS, if you engage in an SMS platform, make sure it's a two-way communication system because you can learn about your users. Ask them questions. What's your favorite cuisine? You like Italian? Do you like Chinese? Okay, great. Now you can actually start segmenting your users and you can reach out and contact them on a regular basis. I work with a lot of bars and restaurants. It happens to be a very hot item for these guys, and it works out well. They have, they build up audiences of they know you're a vodka drinker, you're a gin drinker, and then they can reach out and send promos to these folks. Now, in turn, they're actually going and contacting their distributors, and they're saying, hey, Grey Goose, I have 500 people that are vodka drinkers. I'm going to do a martini night once a month. You want to sponsor that? And Grey Goose, absolutely, here you go. Here's $500. Okay, great, you just paid for my SMS for the entire year. So now your costs are actually nothing. Cost for SMS, again, there's so many different ways to skin the cat. Use cross promotions with some of your neighbors that work with a car wash. There's a pizza place next door. They're looking to get business going. A car wash is looking to get people in. A sponsor to happy hour. Come in here, get your car washed. There's going to be pizza by this company, this pizza parlor right next door, and now you just increased everybody's overhead. So you're building up a lot of data, a lot of users. I had another company that had valet parking. You can actually register for them on OpenTable.com, so you can create a reservation for yourself, go to the restaurant. It's in a very compact area. Parking, absolutely horrific. They put on their website, text valet to 1515 and receive free valet parking. They shot up, they increased almost 23% their reservations just for that fact alone, because otherwise it was just a small blueprint. And now they actually have these people a part of their database. I noticed some sort of calling audibles here. There's a lot of folks here from nonprofits. I work with the Ubuntu Fund and the freeplayfoundation.org. One of their biggest challenges was maintaining continuous conversation and communication with some of their members and the folks that actually donate and make their charities happen. Texting is an absolute surefire way to do that. What Ubuntu used to have one big gala where they generated almost 70 to 80% of all their funds for that year. Now they can actually create little smaller initiatives that can be all text-based, and they can reach out to these folks to keep them up to date and let them know that, hey, this is where my dollars are going, this is what's happening. And again, it's a quick shot. It's not a huge email that you have to read. You don't have to go to my website. It's going to be at your phone. We just want to shoot you a little reminder, hey, thanks, you're great. I have about a minute and a half left. Anyone have any questions real quick?
SMS, what's it stand for?
Short message service. Good question. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
Is it a charitable donation via text, takes time to post, and there's a cost?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, repeat the question. Charitable donations via text take time to post, and there is a cost. Yes and yes. When you're dealing with SMS, it has to go through so many different channels. So when I text it in, it's actually going to go to an aggregator, going to go to another party, then it's actually going to hit the carrier, and then it's going to come back to you. So by the time it goes through all that, and it's going to be dependent upon how you as a charity are actually organized with your SMS provider and your carrier, because most likely it's going to hit the individual's bill, and then they're not going to pay you out probably until the next month. But then you're going to have similar like a credit card transaction. If you're a small business, you're going to have a small percentage charge on top of that. Most of these things are negotiable as far as time frames. As long as you're alerting your end user, I don't think there would be too much issue. Again, at the end of the day, you want to get dollars in the door, and whether it's now or in 30 days, I'm good with that. All right, folks, thanks very much. I appreciate it. I'll be here all day. One last thing, actually, before I go. I'm giving away, I actually work for Hookup Feed. We do have a SMS platform that we own and operate. I'm giving away a 3-month membership for that. If you guys text the hash code that Greg put together here, #conf, CONFCS, to the number 65374, I'll be selecting the winner at the first break we have here upcoming. And anyone else here will receive exclusive pricing. I have 10-20% discounts on contracts. And if there's anything else you'd like to brainstorm or just think about, any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll be here. Thanks very much for your time.